Okay, so since our subject is the law on sales, our legal basis for that is the Civil Code of the Philippines. So if you have a copy of the Civil Code, you can browse through your Codal, or you can also look at it this way. The Civil Code is composed of 4 different books. So if we chop the Civil Code, you will notice that there are certain book numbers inside the Civil Code of the Philippines. So book 1 talks about persons. Okay. Book 2, you already did persons when you were in first year, no? Book 2 is property ownership and its modifications. Book 3 is different modes of acquiring ownership. And book 4 is on obligations and contracts. So, asa man mo fall ang ato ang law on sales sa kani nga mga books sa ato ang civil code. Okay. So, law on sales is under book 4. Okay, it's under book 4, obligations and contracts, under obligations and contracts, but specifically title 6. It's in title 6 of book 4. Specifically articles 1458 to 1637. So, how many provisions di ay ang ato ang law on sales? So roughly 180 siguro. 180 articles. We will discuss 180 articles sa civil code throughout the entire semester. And hopefully, mahuman yun na natutanan na 180 articles. Okay? Okay, so at least clear na itong mind. Nagsugod ay mi sa civil code. So if you can picture out the civil code itself, and then we imagine ourselves opening book 4 and then browsing through book 4, maabot ta sa title 6, diha na to makitaan ang law on sales. Okay. So again, it's in title 6 of book 4, and this title, no, sales, is composed of different chapters. So kumbaga ang civil code ang pinaka broadest, no, nga ato ang tan-awon, and then if we zoom in makakita ta sa book 4. If we zoom in further makakita ta sa title 6. If we zoom in further, if i-chop pag yun nato further si title 6, you can see the following chapters. Okay, so it starts with the nature and form of the contract, particularly the contract of sales. So basically it's like the general provisions, no, of sales. Here we will discuss the nature and form of the contract. It's in chapter 1. Chapter 2 talks about the capacity to buy or the capacity to sell. Chapter 3 talks about the effects of the contract when the thing sold has been lost. Okay. Chapter 4 is the obligations of the vendor, then obligations of the vendee. Then chapter 6, actions for breach of contract of sale of goods. So if there are any provisions or stipulations in your contract of sale nga wala gituman sa isa ka party, unsa man ang atong remedies. So dira na siya makitaan sa chapter 6. And then extinguishment of sale, assignment of credits and other incorporeal rights. And then some more general provisions. Okay. So you can see here that sales, no, katong tanan ng articles nga akong gi-mention ganina is divided into 9 chapters. So medyo weird lang siya for me because ang kinaka-general jud nga provisions naa siya sa last nga chapter, no? When supposedly when we study something, 'di ba, una sa general provisions kay overarching man siya. All these general provisions will be used in the next subsequent chapters. So actually for chapter 9, general provisions, it only has 2 articles. Okay, Article 1636, which talks about the definitions of some of the technical terms that are being used all throughout the law on sales. And then Article 1637, which provides for additional rules for the sale of immovable property. So as mentioned, unahon sa ninato, although it's in chapter 9, but let's discuss this first. Let's discuss this chapter first, which is general provisions. Okay, so we have here Article 1636. So again, 1636 only talks about some definitions, okay? In the preceding articles in this title governing the sale of goods, unless the context or subject matter otherwise provides. So we have here the following, we have some technical terms that we have to remember. Okay, if we see kuno, this term, okay, this term, document of title to goods, is this familiar? Is this term already familiar to you? So if it's familiar, can you give me a thumbs up? If it's not familiar, well, dili pa kayo clear sa inyong mind kung unsa ang document of title to goods, can you give me a thumbs down? Na ba thumbs down during a reaction? So familiar na mo, kasabot na kay clear na kayo na sa among mind, attorney, ang document of title to goods. So that's the thumbs up for you. Pero if dili pa kayo siya clear sa imong mind, or if it's the first time nga ma-encounter ni nimo nga terminology, give thumbs down. Dere lang sa kuan para engaging ang ato ang klase. Pwede mo magduka. Okay? Most of your reactions are thumbs down. No? So at least at this point, kay kani magud nga term, masugatan magud nato sa uban nga mga articles sa law and sales. So at least karon pa lang daan, clear na siya sa ato ang mind, no? So mo gini ang permi na ko isulti when studying the law ba. Permi na ko siya isulti sa ako ang mind na. Ay, permi na ko siya isulti sa akong kaugalingon na it must be clear in my mind. Di ko mo move on kung dili pa siya clear sa akong mind. So dapat clear siya. At this point, dapat clear na siya sa atong minds. No? Document of title to goods. So if we see this term, when we read other provisions on the law on sales, this means ko no, bill of lading, any bill of lading. Unsa man ang bill of lading? Have you heard of bill of lading? So if, in simple terms, no, bill of lading is a document that the carrier of goods gives to the shipper. Okay. So for example, if nakaipadala baron, nakaipadala nga isa ka butang, no? If nakaipadala nga isa ka butang gikan Cebu padong Leyte, for example, gikan Cebu padong Ormoc. If ikaw ang nagpadala, tawag sa imuha shipper, right? You are the shipper of the goods. Ang tawag sa barko nga mo ship sa imuhang product o sa imong goods from Cebu to Leyte, tawag na carrier, okay? Tawag niya carrier. So if naipadala si carrier, let's say for example si Roble Shipping Lines. So si Roble mohatag na nim siyang papel. Unsa may naa sa papel? Naa didto ang pangan sa shipper. So ikaw ang shipper, okay? Naa didto imong pangan. Kinsa man ang consignee, meaning kinsa man ang modawat ani inigabot didto sa Leyte. So naasad ang pangan didto di consignee. Kay naasad ang description didto sa goods nga imuhang gipadala. So ang tawag ana nga papel is what we call the bill of lading. Okay? So a bill of lading is a document of title to goods. What else? Dock warrant. Okay. So kasabot ag dock. Okay, kanang diha sa Bisaya sa dock anang diha sa pier, no? Na may pang store din ha nga mga goods. So if you are the bearer of a dock warrant, pwede nimo ma-claim ang mga goods nga gi-store dito sa dock. If you have that dock warrant, that means you are authorized to claim. You have authority over those goods. Okay. So that is an example of a dock warrant. Same goes with kedan warehouse receipt. So ang nakalahi lang nila kung asa gi-store. Like for example, kung if it's a warehouse receipt. So instead of it being stored in a dock, inside the dock, naa siya sa warehouse. Okay. So warehouse receipt works exactly the same as what I've mentioned a while ago na if you are the bearer of a warehouse receipt, if naggunit ka o warehouse receipt and you present that to the warehouse, then that is a proof that you have a right to possess those goods. And so, si warehouse mo release sa goods anha nimo. Okay? So that is also an example of a document of title to goods. Okay. Warehouse receipt or order for the delivery of goods or any other document used in the ordinary course of business in the sale or transfer of goods. And as long as it is a proof of the possession or control of the goods or authorizing or purporting to authorize the possessor, meaning kung kinsa ang naggunit ana a document, authorized siya to transfer or receive either by endorsement or by delivery, the goods represented by such document. So, clear siya sa atong mind kung unsa ang document of title to goods. And it's any document, so dili lang siya limited ato akong gi-mention ganina nga bill of lading, the warrant, and so on. Example sa to siya. So, dili na siya exclusive lang a list. So, it refers generally to any document that would give the bearer of the document, the possessor of the document, the right to either transfer or receive the goods that are being described in that document. Clear? Okay. So that is document of title to goods. It's defined under Article 1636. What else? What other terms are described or defined under Article 1636? So we have here goods. Okay, the word daw goods, it includes all chattels personal, but not things in action or money of legal tender in the Philippines. So, kani, kung makita ko no ta og word nga goods nga gigamit siya sa uban articles sa law on sales, automatic daw ko no mosud sa atong mind nga kung goods gani ang gigamit nga word, it's all chattels personal. Unsay pasabot sa chattels personal? Man mo og property nga subject? Ay, wala pa. Pero you all
Wala
know
pa, attorney.
Pero you all know no nga naatay real property o personal property, right? So when we say personal property, something that is movable, like a car, something that you can move from one place to another. But we also have real property or immovable property from the word itself, no, immovable. You cannot move them from one place to another, like a land, like a building, no? So it says here, if you see daw the word goods, if gamiton daw ni ang word nga goods, sa uban articles sa law on sales, ang pasabot day kuno ana, chattels personal. In other words, personal property. Personal property daw kuno ang pasabot kung moingon og goods. Okay? But it does not include the following. Not things in action. Unsa nang things in action or tawag na to ana choses in action. Kabantay na mo nga term na choses in action. Unsa man na siya? Oy, those are kumbaga more siya assets, but you assets that you cannot see but which you can only enforce through court, like a debt. Okay? If utang, that is an accounts kung sa accounting pan accounts receivable nimo, di ba? An accounts receivable is an asset, but you cannot see an accounts receivable, right? And you can only enforce that if obviously through a demand to pay. If dili mo bayad, then imong i-enforce through court. Then, although it's an asset, but it's not considered a good. I mean, it's not covered under the term goods. Okay? So, kaning mga things in action, meaning those rights that you can only enforce through court. Dili siya appeal sa term nga goods. Dili pod appeal ang money of legal tender in the Philippines. 'Di ba? We have this concept of legal tender. Money, kung kwarta ko no, dili na siya appeal sa term nga goods. So if moingon dito sa uban article sa law on sales na nga, you can sell B sells goods to C, walay labot din ha ang money. Obviously, di man sa nato mo ibaligya ang money, di ba? So, it's not part of the word goods. Okay. Then we have the word order relating to documents of title. Kabantay mo din sa document of title. Naghiskot mo ta din og order, good order, disorder. Okay, okay, so you can see here order, right? So order, unsa da pasabot anong order? Order, if it relates to the documents of title, means an order by endorsement, an order by endorsement of the on the documents. So if you want to order someone to do this, it will be done through endorsement on the document. So it's more of like an annotation, no, annotation on the document of title. Okay, so the order will be done by means of endorsement on the document of title. Then we have quality of goods includes their state or condition. So I think sayon raman siya sabton no kung makakita ko no ta og term nga quality of goods throughout our study on the law on sales, it pertains daw to the state or condition of the goods. Okay? Then specific goods means goods identified and agreed upon at the time a contract of sale is made. I think you've heard of specific and determinate, 'di ba? When you studied oblicon, no, obligations and contracts, kadaghan naman sa na siya gimension, no. Specific goods meaning determinate goods, those are identified and agreed upon at the time a contract of sale is made. Okay. An antecedent or pre-existing claim, whether for money or not, constitutes value, where goods or documents of title are taken either in satisfaction thereof or as a security therefore. So, ang gi-define din hingat term is the term value. Okay. So, if we see the word value as used all throughout the articles under our law on sales, it can include an antecedent or pre-existing claim. So, for example, no, mayon kag I am a purchaser for value, meaning ikaw buyer ka nga nihatag ka og bayad. Okay? When you say purchaser for value, nadyo kay gihatag nga bayad. That bayad pwede siya dili kwarta. Pwede siya an antecedent or pre-existing claim. So, for example, isa ka person na siya utang nimo sa una. Karon ganahan ka mo palit og product nga iyang baligya. Instead of you paying that person money para sa imong paliton nga product gikan niya, ang imo na lang buhaton is imo na lang i-offset sa iyahang utang sa una. So pwede di ay siya. No, an antecedent or pre-existing claim, it constitutes value. Okay? Where goods or documents of title are taken. Okay? In satisfaction thereof. Kagets ta? No. So, sayon raman siya kung utang ang isa ka person, unya ganahan ka mo palit og something from him, instead of mo siyang bayaran sa price sa imong paliton nga product, imo na lang kuhaan ang iyang utang. That is already considered as value. That pre-existing claim will be considered as a value. Okay, a person is insolvent. Okay, the term being defined here is insolvent. A person is insolvent within the meaning of this title who either has ceased to pay his debts in the ordinary course of business. So, duha ka buok di ay ang ato ang matawag nga insolvent. So, ang isa kuno ka tawo nga wa na jud ni bayad sa iyang mga utang in the ordinary course of business, he is considered to be insolvent. Or those who cannot pay his debts as they become due. Okay. So, kung naa kuno kay mga due nga mga utang, dili na ka capable of paying those debts, then you are now considered as an insolvent. So it says here whether insolvency proceedings have been commenced or not. So regardless kung ni file ba jud ka og insolvency, ni gipa-declare jud nimo sa court nga insolvent ka or wala nimo gipa-declare sa court nga insolvent ka, it doesn't matter as long as na-fall ka is cease to pay your debts or cannot pay your debt when they become due, then you are now considered as an insolvent person. Okay, next we have goods are in a deliverable state. So the term deliverable state, please make sure to mute your microphones first, huh? Okay, goods are in a deliverable state within the meaning of this title when they are in such a state that the buyer would, under the contract, be bound to take delivery of them. So the term being described here is deliverable state. So when can we say daw kuno na ang isa ka butang nga imuhang ibaligya, it is in a deliverable state. So makonsider daw kuno ang isa ka butang nga deliverable state siya kung mapugos nato ang buyer to receive that. Okay? So murag in the ordinary course of business, si buyer wala jud siya lain rason nga dili siya mo dawat anang imuhang gihatod. Okay? So dili siya guba, no? Kay kung guba na siya, obviously the buyer would not be bound to take delivery of them. Dili nimo siya mapugos to receive something nga guba. So kung guba siya, dili siya in a deliverable state. So again, in a deliverable state siya, kung mapugos na to si buyer na kuhaa lagi ni ang ako ang gi-deliver nimo kay mao ni imong gipalit. Okay? So mana siya ang deliverable state. Okay, that's for Article 1637. Article 36 rather. Article 1637, this is the last article under Chapter 9, General Provisions. It says that the provisions of this title are subject to the rules laid down by the mortgage law and the land registration law with regard to immovable properties. It only gives us a heads up. No. If what is being sold, if the subject or the object of your contract of sale is an immovable property, then there are also other laws that can be applied. Dili lang ang kaning sa law on sales, but kailangan po nimo i-consider ang katong other provisions sa mortgage law and the land registration law, but only with respect to immovable properties. Okay? So, only those two articles, so manata sa chapter 9 na general provision. So clear na siya sa atong mind. Let's now proceed to chapter 1. Okay. So balik na ta sa chapter 1. Chapter 1 of the law on sales. So it talks about the nature and form of the contract. So it starts with Article 58. So if you notice, basta in ani gani nga font akong gigamit, it is the codal provision. Okay, para ma-distinguish na to na kani siya, gikan gyud din siya sa codal provision, ang uban mga annotations na lang. Okay, so Article 1458 states that by the contract of sale, one of the contracting parties obligates himself to transfer the ownership and to deliver a determinate thing, and the other to pay therefore a price certain in money or its equivalent. So what does Article 1458 tell us or give us? It gives us the definition of what is a contract of sale. Okay, so it says here, in a contract of sale, blah, 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 blah. So ato siyang may himayon. So it's one of the contracting parties. Okay, one of the contracting parties obligates himself to transfer. So this person being referred to, one of the contracting parties, this refers to the seller. Okay? So, unsa man ang obligations din ni seller. Okay? Ang iyang obligation is to transfer the ownership. And second, to deliver a determinate thing. Okay? So, kailangan determinate thing ang iyahang i-transfer, ang iyahang gi-deliver. So, from this codal provision, Article 1458 rather, we can see that we have one contracting party here being referred to as the seller with two general obligations. The first obligation of the seller is to transfer the ownership of a determinate thing. And the second obligation of the seller is to deliver that determinate thing. So from this definition, klaro naman sad no nga kailangan ang subject or ang object sa sale should be a determinate thing. Dili di ay pwede na dili determinate thing ang imuhang i-subject to a sale. So kailangan it should be a determinate thing. Next, and the other party, so na di ay another nga person. So duha di katawo ang involved. So kaning usa mo ni hang obligations, kaning usa is the seller. So the other to pay, therefore, a price certain in money or its equivalent. So this other person, we will call him the buyer. Okay, the buyer din siya. So we will call this one the buyer. Unsa man ang general nga obligation ni buyer? Ang general ra jud nga obligation ni buyer is to pay, no? To pay a price certain in money or its equivalent. Okay? So rich kaayo ang Article 1458. So it tells us a lot of things. It tells us that a contract of sale should have two parties, two persons involved. The first person is what we call the seller, and then the second is called the buyer. And unsa ang obligations ni seller? To transfer the ownership and to deliver a determinate thing. Unsay obligation ni buyer? To pay therefore a price certain in money. To pay. Okay, to pay for that determinate thing. And so what are the characteristics of a contract of sale based on that article? So we can see that a contract of sale is consensual. Okay, meaning to say it is perfected by mere consent. What do we mean by consent? It's the meeting of the minds between the buyer and the seller. Unsay pasabot sa consent, meeting of the minds? Pasabot ana, nagka-agree jud sila duha. Unsa man ilang giagreehan? Duha ka buok ilang giagreehan. First, kung unsa ang determinate thing ay baligya. So kailangan pareha sila gyunahon na nga mao gid ni ang ibaligya. Correct? Second, meeting of the minds as to the price. Pila ang baligya ani? Dapat magka-agree sila. Okay? So there must be meeting of the minds as to those two matters. Again, the first, there must be meeting of the minds as to the subject of the sale. So for example, nagtan-aw mo yuta din ha, no? Kana nga yuta, subdivide into two. Okay? Lot A and lot B. Sa nahuna ni seller, ang iyang gibaligya, ang diri spikas, lot A. Ang sa nahuna ni buyer, kay ang iyang gitan-aw, dito spikas, lot B di ang pasabot. So walay meeting of the minds as to the subject matter. So there will be no perfected contract of sale. Kung wala silang nagka-agree, dahil wala nagkaparihas, wala nagkatagbo ang ilahang minds kung unsa ang subject sa sale. Okay? Next, as to the price. So, kung hunahuna sa seller, gibaligya niya siya at 1 million, or ginahuna sa buyer 800,000, walay meeting of the minds. So if there is no meeting of the minds, then there is no perfected contract of sale. Okay? So for a contract of sale to be perfected, there must be consent, there must be meeting of the minds between the seller and the buyer. Okay? So a contract of sale is consensual. It is perfected by mere consent. Question, is delivery a requirement for the perfection of a contract of sale? Yes or no? For example, ikaw si buyer, may ka nga, wala pa ni na perfected ang atong sale kay wala pa man niya gi-deliver. Sakto or di? So, answer.
No,
Okay.
not really.
O, sayop ang iyahang giingon. Nga naman, kay delivery, kanang delivery, that is not a requirement for the perfection of a contract of sale. Why? Because a contract of sale is consensual in nature. It is perfected the moment the seller and the buyer had a meeting of the minds as to the subject of the sale and as to the price of the sale. So delivery is not this is not a requirement for the perfection of a contract of sale, but delivery is important, right? Obviously, kay kung dili niya i-deliver unsa man, pwede ka napakailain remedies ana. But as to the perfection of the contract of sale, it is already perfected at the time that the minds of the seller and the buyer have met as to the object and the price of the sale. Okay? Another characteristic of a contract of sale is that it is bilateral. So from the kaning prefix no nga bi, meaning duha, no? Meaning there should be two parties in a contract of sale, bilateral. And those two parties have certain obligations between each other. So we already know that there are two parties to a contract of sale, the seller and the buyer. And it is bilateral because the seller has an obligation to the buyer and the buyer also has an obligation to the seller. Dili siya unsa may opposite ani. Ang opposite aning bilateral kay unilateral, meaning ang usa ra ang may obligasyon sa usa. But this one, a contract of sale it's bilateral because the two parties have an obligation between each other. Okay? So unsa toy obligation ni seller padung kang buyer? Na dito sa ato ang i-discuss ganina, no? Transfer the ownership and deliver the determinate thing. Nya unsa toy obligation ni buyer padung ni seller to pay a price written in money. So, mo na siya nganong bilateral ang contract of sale. Next, it is onerous. Okay, onerous because naaman siya price involved. Okay, naaman siya price involved. Unsa may opposite di ay sa word nga onerous? Gratuitous. So, kung opposite gratuitous meaning nihatag ra ka by liberality, like a gift, like a donation. That is gratuitous. But this one is onerous because naaman siya presyo. Okay? It is onerous. It is commutative because there is a presumption nga ang value sa butang nga imong gibaligya equivalent siya sa price nga gibayad ni buyer. 'Di ba? So, obviously, if magbaligya kag isa ka butang, ang selling price jud sa imuhang gibaligya, kuan siya, equivalent jud siya sa value sa kanang butang nga imuhang gibaligya. Okay? So, mo na siya ang pasabot sa commutative. Then, it is also a nominate contract because the law specifically puts a name to that contract. The law specifically names it, puts a name on it as a contract of sale. Naamade mga kontrata nga walay pangan. Ang opposite sa nominate kay innominate, meaning walay pangan. Nung sa may mga walay pangan dinhi na contracts. Yes, if you can still recall your oblicon, di ba katong duot des, duot fascias. Ato nga mga inato, wala man to sila yung mga pangan. Gitawag ra siya duot des, duot fascias, and all. But this one, for a contract of sale, he specifically named jud siya nga sale siya. So, nominate siya nga contracts na siya pangan. And then it is a principal contract because wala man siya nakadepende sa lain nga mga kontrata. It can stand on its own. Okay? So, mo na siya, you can immediately enter into a contract of sale without entering into a first contract. Pwede siya, it can stand on its own. So it's a principal contract as opposed to an accessory contract. Like for example, an example of an accessory contract is a mortgage. So, nganong na may mortgage in the first place because na may contract of loan. Di man pwede nga na mortgage then why loan, 'di ba? So, a contract of mortgage is an example of an accessory contract. Kaya nakadepende man siya sa isa ka previous na contract, which is a contract of loan. But a contract of sale is principal in nature. Right? Clear sa tong mind? Clear? Okay, clear. So, what are the essential requisites of a contract of sale? As mentioned a while ago, there must be consent or meeting of the minds. So, meaning to say, if it's only a mere offer, for example, ni offer si seller na palitan ni B, kung ano siya, tag 50,000. Tapos, wala pa disugot si buyer. Offer lang to ni seller. Was there a meeting of the minds already? So, wala pa. So, if it's a mere offer, wala pa tay perfection of a contract of sale. There is yet no contract of sale if it's only a mere offer. What if ni-offer si seller na, oy, palitan ni 50,000. Tapos ingon si buyer, kuan na lang B, 40. O, ni-counter siya. Instead na 50 daw, 40 na lang daw. Nga wala pa gidawat ni seller. Wala pa siya ni-agree sa counter offer. Then there is no meeting of the minds yet. So since there is no meeting of the minds yet, there is no contract of sale. It's still a mere offer. So kailangan, para mahimo siyang contract of sale, the offer should be what? It should be accepted. Okay? And which point in time man ang ato ang basihan sa perfection sa contract of sale? Okay. For example, ni-offer ko nimo karong gabi. Palitan ni B 50,000. Nya imo pa man gyud na hunaw pa ka ni reply nako. Okay? Ni-reply ka nako alas 12 na sa tungang gabi. Nga natuog naman ko ana. Wa pa nako nabasahan ang imuhang chat or text. Okay? Nabasahan ako siya pag 8 a.m. na. Kapag kuha na ko sa akong cellphone, ni mata na ako anak, tanaw na ko sa akong cellphone, 8 a.m. So, which point in time man na ay perfection sa contract of sale? Was it the time when I made the offer? Let's say karon, sa mga orasa, 6:15, 6:15 p.m. Or was it the time when you texted me or ni-chat ka na ko, nag-accept na nimo akong offer, which is 12 midnight? Or was it the time when I was able to read your text message or your chat, which is 8 a.m. the next day? Okay, so when the offer was accepted, so question, asa man ato nga orasa ang makonsider nato na the offer was accepted? So, na-answer din hino na at 12 midnight ko, no? Other answers, no? Duha na kabuk ang ni-answer 12 daw, 12 a.m. ang perfection. How about the others? What is your answer? Twelve a.m. So, tulo na kabuok nag-answer og 12 a.m. Okay. So, para di ta madugay, ang answer kay upon the knowledge of the person offering that the offer was accepted. So kung kanus nabalaan sa person nga gi-accept di ay ang iyang offer, mao na siya ang date and time of the perfection of the contract of sale. So nahibaw-an ako na gi-accept di ang offer pag 8 a.m. na. So it's the 8 a.m. the next day ang perfection sa contract of sale. And why is this relevant? Why is this relevant na kailangan di mo mabalaan ng specific date and time of the perfection of the contract of sale? Because prior to the perfection of the contract of sale, the wala pa binding a contract ninyo. So the seller can still sell it to some other person. Let's say for example, no, 'di ba ni-offer ko nimo ani 6:15. Ako na huna pa man ka 12 midnight na ni chat nako. Pero ato nga time, wala ko nagpuput sa akong cellphone kay na ako kakita nga laing nga friend. And while nagkita mi dito no, nangadto mi sa IT Park store, storya mi ngadto, ako nagtan-aw sa akong cellphone, nakahisgot ko niya nga ay naa di koy baligya nga property, 50,000 na lang. Nya ginisugot siya. So nisugot siya, let's say, nagstorya mi alauna sa kadlaw. Pero ni chat ka na ako 12 a.m. Diba? But because wala pa ko nakahibaw, nag-accept din mo nga akong offer, there was yet no perfection of the contract of sale. So, dili ka pwede mo reklamo the next day na, uy, gi-accept man niya ko imong offer pag 12 a.m. Dapat, ako na jud ang buyer, ana nga property. But you would say no. Okay? Because at the time na ni-chat ka na ako na 12 a.m., yes, you accepted the offer. But wala pa ko'y knowledge of the acceptance of the offer. So, importante na mahibalaan nimo kung kanus ang perfection sa contract of sale. Mhm. Okay. It also matters when it comes to the offer and acceptance of the offer through mail. 'Di ba kay dugay man sa no sa una um ipadala pa nimo ang mga suwat no through a courier. Dugay madawat sa person nga imong padalhan sa imuhang letter. So diha mo matter pod ang ato ang pagdetermine kung kanus na perfected ang contract of sale. Okay? So since the first essential requisite of a contract of sale is that there should be consent or meeting of the minds. Is there a perfected contract of sale if the sale is against the will of the owner? If the sale is against the will of the owner, so we cannot say that there is consent, right? Hindi mo pugson. But if we relate this, although if we relate this to your what you have learned in your oblicon, endo mo atong vitiated consents sa inyong oblicon. Vitiated consent. Meaning, nihatag siya consent pero imo siya gipugos. So, unsa man tong mga vitiations sa consent? Force, intimidation, threats. Remember? So, we can still say it that it's against the will of the owner, pero napugos lang siya because you employed those threats, intimidation. So, there is a consent, but the consent is vitiated. So, in that case, the sale is not like a 100% valid sale, but it's a voidable sale, right? And you already know kung unsay mga remedies nimo if voidable ang imong contracts. So meaning if it's a voidable contract, it is valid until what? Until annulled. Okay? So the remedy of the person, kung ikaw ang gi-force, gi-threaten and all, your remedy is to annul the contracts. But there are also sale na against the will of the owner, pero perfect valid jud siya nga sale. What are those? It's, for example, if it's done through an expropriation. Kakuan mo expropriation, no? For example, mag-road widening. Mag-road widening si government. Unya, maigo ang imong property sa kilid. Unya, moingon ang government, paliton din ako nga portion sa imong yuta. Because gamiton man din ako para mulapad ang ato ang kalsada. Makadi lagi ko kay nani sentimental value nako dili ni hinatag dis ako lula and all. Bisan pa og di ka mosugot because the government is exercising its power to expropriate. Then, valid ra gihapon ang sale. Bahalag, it's against your will. But obviously, kailangan bayaran sa kaog just compensation, right? Another example of a sale against the will of the owner is ordinary execution sale. Ano sa pasabot sa execution sale? Na naman si Pro, dan na mo, mana mo og study og Civ Pro, subject na Civ
Ako
Pro.
palang attorney.
Ongoing
This
ba
lang
this
ka lang.
attorney?
Okay. So, spoiler alert na lang. Okay, spoiler alert, no? Under Rule 39 of the Rules of Court, no, sa Civ Pro ninyo, no? For example, na ongoing kaso, na nahuman na, nakadaog na ka. Okay, nakadaog na ka. Pero walay ikabayad ang napildi. Pero naa siya property. Okay, wa siya ikabayad nga kwarta, pero naa siya property. So, kuhaon niyang property, i-levy ang iyang property, o niya i-sell na siya through a public auction. So, mo ni siya ang execution sale. Mo na ang pasabot sa execution sale, meaning, gi-execute na ang final and executory nga judgment, and then, ang gilevy nga property, gibaligya siya sa highest bidder. So, if ikaw, ang owner, anak nga property, bahalag di ka masugot nga ibaligya na imong property. But if that property was levied and sold on execution, then wala na kay mabuhat. Okay? So, that is another example of a sale against the will of the owner. So, even though walay consent yun nimo because lagi mo oppose ka sa pagbaligyan na, it's still a valid contract of sale. Judicial foreclosure sale. Same lang gihapon, yung public auction lang gihapon ni, but ang foreclosure pertains to a mortgage. No, na kay utang, and then to secure your utang, gi-mortgage nimo ang imong yuta. Pero kay wala man ka nakabayad sa imong utang. So gi-foreclose ni bank ang mortgage through the courts. So tawag ani judicial foreclosure sale. So i-foreclose, kuhaon ang imong property, ibaligya siya to the highest bidder. Okay, judicial foreclosure. But foreclosure can also be extrajudicial. So there can be extrajudicial foreclosure sale, but same lang gihapon with number 3, ibaligya gihapon ang imong property nga gi-mortgage to the highest bidder. Okay? Nakalahian lang, sa judicial foreclosure sale, kailangan na i-file nga kaso ang imuhang mortgagee. Pero diri sa extrajudicial foreclosure sale, wala na i-file nga kaso, imong mortgagee, diretso na siya o pabaligya sa imuhang foreclosed nga property. But in all of these scenarios, you as the owner of the property, I think, no, it's safe to say na dili ka masugot na ibaligya imong property. Pero bisan it's made against your will of you as the owner, then the contract of sale is still valid. If the seller is married, same, dire ra gyapon sa consent or meeting of the minds. If the seller is married, kailangan na ay consent sa spouse. Okay? If you are the seller and you are married, dili pwede na ikaw lang magpirma-pirma sa contract of sale. Kailangan mananghid ka sa imong asawa, mananghid ka sa imong bana, anya kailangan musugot siya. Okay. So ang musugot siya kailangan pirma sa siyang appeal dito no with my marital consent. Okay. If a property is sold by one spouse without the consent of the other spouse, the sale is void. Okay? Sa business na to, nag-study naman mo persons and family relations no, sa inyong first year. So, kabaw na mo, anak. Nga kailangan na ajoy consent sa other spouse if the seller is married. Okay? But, if the seller is single, the buyer is married, kailangan ba o consent sa spouse ni buyer? Answer is no. No. Okay? Kaya actually, pwede man gani yun unilateral sale nga dili na kailangan mo perma ang buyer. But disagot ang buyer na consent or meeting of the minds. It's just that di na lang siya mo perma. Di na sa contract of sale. So, the spouse's consent referred to here is as to the seller. Okay? Seller. Another requisite of a contract of essential requisite of a contract of sale is that there should be an object or subject matter. And that subject matter must be a determinate thing. Okay? Must be a determinate thing. Another term for determinate is specific. Dapat specific siya nga butang. Or, if dili pang gani siya determinate at the time nga naghisgot mo, nagsabot mo sa inyong sale, at least capable of being made determinate. So, if dili pa siya determinate at that point in time, if it's capable of being made determinate, then it can be considered a valid object or subject matter. Okay. And the object or subject matter may be a personal or real property. So, pwede nimo ibaligya no sa imong contract of sale, pwede siya personal property, pwede sad siya real property. And then the last essential requisite of a contract of sale is the cost or consideration. So this refers to the price. Price. So kailangan na ay ibayad. Kaya kung wala ibayad, unsa man siya? Donation day siya. No, okay, if you have a property and you will transfer the ownership and you will deliver that determinate thing to another person without that other person paying a price, it's a donation. Correct? It's a donation. If it's made during the lifetime of the giver, but if it's made after the death of the giver, then we have na itong succession, right? Inheritance. It's still gratuitous kung wala siya price. So, since a contract of sale should be onerous, dili siya gratuitous, onerous siya, kailangan na ay price. But the payment need not be in money. Like what I have mentioned a while ago, no, if you have an antecedent or pre-existing claim, that can be considered as the cost or consideration. And the price must be real and not fictitious. Otherwise, the sale is void. So even though, for example, in your contract of sale, naka-indicate yun dito, nagibayaran mo siya og 1 million para ani. Pero, storya-storya ra di ay. Sa tinuod, wala gyud di ay bayad nga nahitabo. So, if the price is fictitious, then the sale is void. Okay? The sale is void because it then becomes a gratuitous contract. So in this case, if the price is fictitious, the contract of sale is void. But if in that case, there is another contract na ma-birth, no? And that example, contract of donation. Okay, wala man ka high price. So a contract of donation. So ang contract of sale nga ilang gi-execute, dili siya valid, void siya. But na ay valid nga contract nga inyong gi-enter, which is your contract of donation. Okay, so let's check your understanding. Okay, let's have this example. B bought on a partial payment of 1,000, evidenced by a receipt, a portion of a subdivision from S, who is an administrator of the testate estate of his deceased spouse. Subsequently, S was authorized by the court to sell the subdivision. In the meantime, PT Company became the new administrator. It sold the lot to another, which sale was judicially approved. B files a complaint which seeks, among others, for the quieting of title over the lot in question. So ang question here, was there a valid and enforceable sale to B? So again, if we read it again here, si B kuno gipalit daw niya ang portion sa subdivision. On a partial payment of 1,000. Nya kanipod siya, it's evidenced by a receipt. Okay, so ang question, was there a valid and enforceable sale to B? Yes or no? Was there a valid and enforceable sale to B? Ipalit ko no si B on a partial payment of 1,000. Ya, ang katupong 1,000 na apod siya resibo. Okay, kinsa may mo volunteer og answer. Was there a valid and enforceable sale to be? Without searching the internet, ato lang i-try jud ba na yeah, o apply ang ato ang nasabtan sa atong i-discuss. Sige daw, Erica Faye. Sorry, Erica. Sige, sige na, bahala lang og sayop siguro or na. Basta at least learning na to no karong gabi eh. So unsa man? Yeah.
Correct lang ko attorney if masayop.
Mm.
Actually, gikan ko sa silong nag-prepare og food sa akong daughter pero sige, I'll try. Uh, I think it's valid attorney because there's a proof or evidence of the sale. The evidence by through a receipt attorney.
Okay. So that's the reasoning of Erica, no? So valid ako, no? How about Sir Amolo?
I think valid sale siya, attorney, no? There is payment and then na perfected siya because there's payment. Even though partial lang siya, pero na may consent sa seller nga pwede ra partial. So I think it's a perfected valid sales.
Okay, thank you. So duha na naingon nga perfected valid sale. So let's ask another one just to be sure. How about Jude, Andre?
I'm still trying to analyze the situation, attorney. But basing on what I understand, attorney, I think it is also a valid, attorney, since there is already a consensual there's already a consensus of the both parties, attorney. The yes, as stated by the previous by my classmates, attorney, there is a proof through a receipt.
Okay. So, parehas og answer silang tulo, no? So, atong himay-himay yun, okay? So, we know that there are three essential requisites, 'di ba, for a contract of sale. 'Di ba? Same good sa inyuhang na sabtan sa inyuhang oblikon, namtay COC, right? Consent, object, consideration. Consent, object, consideration. So, kana tulo. So, atong tsakan-tsakan kung nabay COC. Okay, first, was there consent sa seller and the buyer? Check. Yes. Right? So check. Safe na ta sa first C. Next, objects. Determinate object man na kailangan, di ba? So, na-mention ba din unsa jud ang ilang determinate object? Yes, a portion of a subdivision, right? So check. Next, the last essential requisite is a C, consideration or the price. Okay. Again, there must be a meeting of the minds as to the object and the price. Question, was there a meeting of the minds on the price? Is it a yes or no? So the answer is no. Okay. What was only stated is a partial payment. We don't know kung pila jud ang selling price, right? So wala sila nagsabot kung pila ang selling price. Ang ilan na sabutan is ang partial payment. So question, pila di ay ang balanse niya after na yan ibayad og 1,000? Wata kahibaw. Wata kahibaw, right? Kay wa man sila nagsabot. So wala di ay meeting of the minds as to the price or consideration. So tricky. Tricky, di ba? So ang answer ni walay valid nga sale to B. I-check na unta ta sa C, O, CO, pero ang last nga C, wala. Okay. Another one. B company and S. A subdivision, si S daw, subdivision developer, agreed to enter into a new contract to sell whereby S will sell 7 lots at 423,250 with a down payment of 42,325 and the balance payable in 48 monthly installments of 7,395.94. The draft of the contract to sell prepared by S was sent to B company, but B's president did not sign it, although he sent. So wala niya gipirmahan daw kuno, pero ni-send siya og 5 ka cheque. Sent 5 checks covering the down payment totaling 27,542.72. S received the checks but did not encash it because B's president did not sign the draft contract. The reason given by the latter, so ang reason daw kuno nga nung wala ni sign ang president was that the draft covered 7 lots instead of 6. Since no written contract was signed, S sued B to recover possession of the lots still occupied by the latter. May the unsigned draft be deemed to embody the agreement between the parties. Or in other words, no, let's just simplify the question. Was there a contract of sale? Nguta na taglain. Ha? Marielle.
My answer to that question, attorney, is no, there is no valid contract of sale because there is no meeting of mind as to the determining or the subject matter because they both party did not agree about the subject matter, which is the lots. So there is no valid contract of sale.
Okay, so that's the answer of Marielle. Thank you, Marielle. How about Hannah?
I think, attorney, there is a valid contract to sell. However, it is voidable because they agreed that they will sell 7 lots. However, the error was only when the error was encountered when the president did not sign the contract. Maybe it was an error during the drafting of the contract, which can be corrected through, I forgot the term, attorney, but it can be corrected, attorney.
Okay, okay. I get it. Sa imuhang oblikon rin gihapon, di ba?
Yes, attorney.
How about Colleen? Ikaw ang tiebreaker.
Good evening, attorney. I think there was no valid contract, attorney. Again, as previously mentioned by Marielle, there was no meeting of the minds as to the subject matter of the contract, since one of the requisites for a valid contract is since a valid contract is perfected once there's meeting of the minds, but here there was no meeting of the minds, such as given that there was no a signature by the buyer, because again there was instead of on the draft covered 7 instead of 6, so basically there's no meeting of the minds, so no, attorney.
Okay, so the answer is there is no valid contract of sale. Because again here, no, ang sabot nila is we'll sell 7 lots, but then na-change na po into 6. So murag naglibog pa sila. Wala nagkamit ang ilang minds kung ila jud ay kabuok nga lots ang subject of the sale. So correct ang inyong giingon nga there was no meeting of the minds as to the determinate thing, which is the object or subject of the sale. So at least clear na siya sa atong minds, no? So speaking of kanina, di ba, nag-mention naman siya contract to sell. So what then is the difference, or what are the differences between a contract of sale and a contract to sell? Because diri man god ano sa law office ba, kasuway na kadaghan na kasuway na nay mo do mo ingon na attorney magpabuhat mi og kanang contract of sale. Okay. Unya okay sige mag-draft ta karon. Unya mangutan naman ko nila unsa man inyong sabot di ayon sa inyong hang ibaligya. So tagaan ko nila copy sa title on the tax declaration. Pero sa later on sige nagstorya Ingon sila na, impason pa daw kuno ni ang presyo after 1 year. Okay, so wala pa di ay nabayaran tanan. Onya, dili mo sugot ang seller na i-transfer ang ownership of the property kung dili pa ma-fully pay. So in essence di ang ilang giadto dili di ay pahimo og contract of sale but contract to sell. Kay kasagaran mga wala nagtuon og kanang law, no, di man sila kasabot di na lahi din ang contract of sale, lahi din ang contract to sell. But kita, we are students of the law, so we need to know unsa di ay kalahian sa contract of sale and contract to sell. Okay, so here are the points of distinction. So if in case, for example, in your future exams, if the question asks you to distinguish, so kailangan magsugod yun mo sa point of distinction. No, this is also how I answer these kinds of questions. No? Distinguish blah 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 from blah blah blah. So kailangan na yun kay common na ground ba of distinction. So kailangan masulti ka na as to what? As to transfer of title, as to the payment of price. So that's the correct way of answering a question nga distinguish. Okay? So as to transfer of title. In a contract of sale, the title passes to the buyer upon the delivery of the thing sold. So there is already a transfer of title. So title from the seller to the ownership, no, meaning ownership from the seller to the buyer. So title passes to the buyer upon delivery of the thing sold. On the other hand, in a contract to sell, ownership is reserved in the seller and is not to pass until the full payment of the purchase price. So there is a condition first that has to be met before ownership is to be transferred to the buyer. And that condition is the full payment of the purchase price. So that is why in a contract to sell, makita mo contract to sell, naasan na provision dito na upon full payment sa purchase price, they will execute another contract and that contract now is a contract of sale. Okay? So if fully paid na ka, babalik na po mo din sa ako ang office kay maghimo ta og contract of sale. Okay. As to payment of price. In a contract of sale, non-payment of the price is a negative resolutory condition, meaning to say, clear na ba sa inyong mind kung unsa ng resolutory o suspensive condition no, sa inyong oblicon? I hope clear na siya sa inyong mind. So, when we speak of negative resolutory condition, in a contract of sale, if dili ka mo bayad sa price nga inyong nasabutan niya, contract of sale ang inyong gi-enter into, it is a negative resolutory condition, meaning to say it will extinguish, it will become a ground to rescind your contract. So meaning, resolutory gani, effective na siya until mahitabo na siya nga condition. So kay na naman mo valid contract of sale, no, but wala day ka ni fulfill sa imong obligation to pay the price, then the seller can rescind your contract of sale. Makapawalang bisa siya sa inyong contract of sale na already existing. Here, in a contract to sell, full payment is a positive suspensive condition. So suspensive siya because it will give birth. It will it will give birth to that right na transfer of title to another person from the seller to the buyer. Okay? So here sa contract to sell, wala pa sale nga nahitabo. Mahitabo ra ang sale kung nanay full payment because the full payment is the suspensive condition. But in a contract of sale, despite bisag wala pa kanibayad pero nagsabot na mo nga contract of sale na gyud na siya, dili ninyo himuon nga condition ang full payment of the price, then automatically ni effect na inyong contract of sale. But if wala ni bayad siya, then that's the time na nga patyon ang inyong contract of sale. So mo na siyang resolutory condition siya. Because the seller can rescind your contract. As to ownership of the vendor has lost or the seller has lost and cannot recover anymore the ownership of the thing sold and delivered, which is delivered actually or constructed. Because later on we will learn na delivery can be actual delivery or constructive delivery. Here in the contract to sell, the title, the same lang yapon siya actually related ra siya sa kaning first nga distinction nato because the title remains in the vendor if the vendee does not comply with the condition precedent of making payment at the time specified in the contract. Okay. Okay, let's check your understanding. Okay, the dispositive part of a deed entitled Deed of Sale of Real Property states. Unsa pasabot sa dispositive part? Ang last portion daw kuno sa ilahang deed of sale nagbutang daw kuno sila ani. For and in consideration of the sum of 140,000 payable under the terms and conditions stated in the foregoing premises, the vendor sells, transfers, and conveys unto the vendee the property in question as of December 22, 1971, the date of said document. Is this a contract of sale or a contract to sell? Let me call on Wenzel.
Good evening, attorney.
Good evening.
For this question, attorney, it is a contract to sell since it's stipulated. There are terms and condition under the contract, which means that they have to pay in installments or some sort of terms they have agreed upon.
Okay, okay. How about Edwin, Sir Edwin?
For me, attorney, is deed of sale.
Come again?
Deed of sale, attorney. For me,
It's as contract of sale, not a contract to sell.
yes, attorney.
Why?
Contract of sale.
Why?
Because I think in this wording kay murag na complete na niya ang iyang bayad for consideration of 140,000. Then murag murag under condition sa contract na sa contract to sale, then na-kompleto na ang bayad, so nagbuhat na sa deed of sale. Deed of sale. So yeah, property.
Okay. So let's call another one para tiebreaker, no, si Kate. Kate Alex.
Good evening, attorney. I think this is a contract of sale.
Of sale. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
There is already a conclusive provision in the contract where the vendor already portrays or to authorize the sale and transfer of such property to the vendee.
Correct. Okay. So the correct answer is this is a contract of sale. Okay. Okay, this is a contract of sale. As katong gi-mention ni Renzil ganiha nga terms and conditions, there could be other terms and conditions in their contract. Like for example, who pays for the expenses of the sale, who pays for the capital gains tax, who pays for the documentary stamp taxes. So those can be stipulated no, under their terms and conditions. But if we carefully examine the wordings of the dispositive part here, it says naman good, the vendor sells, transfers, and conveys. Kay kasagaran magud ana kung contract to sell siya, mingon ra ka nga, the vendor agrees to sell, transfer, and blah, 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 blah. This one is already, kumbaga absolutely na jud ba nag-sell niya, transfer, and convey. So it's more of like a contract of sale. Okay? So that's okay. Now, at least naka-practice ta. No? Okay. Okay, how about this one? In paragraph 5 daw kuno of a contract, it is provided that should the vendee, prior to the full payment of all the amounts aforementioned, decide to sell or to assign part or all of the aforementioned parcel of land, the vendor shall be informed in writing and shall have the option to repurchase the property. Should the vendor herein decide to repurchase and the property is sold or transferred to a third person, the balance of the consideration herein still due to the vendor shall constitute automatically a prior lien on the consideration to be paid by the third person to herein vendee. Klaro kay no, abogado himuan ni kigilibog-libog. So is the above instrument a contract to sell? Or is it a contract of sale? Okay, kani medyo lisod. Malas ang matawag. Okay, Christian Jude.
Hello, attorney. Wait lang, attorney. Magre-read sa ako, attorney.
Sige, sige.
That's fine.
Sige, wala guna-huna pa si Christian. Tawag taglain ha. Balik ko ka Christian. Gabriel. Adrian.
Yes, attorney, good evening. That will be a contract of sale, attorney.
Sure ka na ba? Contract of sale? Why?
Contract of sale kay
Okay. Oh, nahuna pa sa si Gabriel. Tawag to ikatulo. So, balikan ako si Christian, o si Gabriel. How about Bernie, Sir Bernie?
Attorney, for me, it's a contract to sell.
Contract to sell. Why?
Yes, for how do I explain this? For the vendee has the prior, there are portion, I think it was not paid in a full amount, as stated as the full payment of all the amounts aforementioned. So there are maybe different amounts prior in deciding to sell or to also there is to sell or to assign part if there is a third party attorney. So maybe it's not paid in full. So maybe it's in installment or yes, attorney.
Okay, so your main consideration, okay, it's not yet full payment, and that's why it's still a contract to sell, right?
Yes, attorney.
Okay, I'll circle back to Christian. Nana ka answer, Christian?
I believe I have an answer, attorney. And yes, I agree with the previous answer, a contract to sell, because the circumstance stated herein only states the conditions, such as the vendor having the right to repurchase the property, but there's no conclusion that there have been an absolute sale.
Okay.
Attorney.
All right. So how about Gabriel?
Yes, attorney. So for my answer, attorney, I will stick with the contract of sale.
No, kaya nakaingon na makagani ha. Ito. So nga ng contract of sale man.
Contract of sale, attorney, since they have this agreement on the object and also of the price, and then even though the sale is not fully paid, then they still got the contract or the agreement for that certain sale, attorney.
Okay. So thank you. So thank you all for your answers. So at least ba makita na to na lain-lain ng perspectives no sa mga tao. The correct answer to this one is that it is a contract of sale. Why? Sakto tong giingon ni Bernie ganiha baya nga wala pa'y full payment. Sumato iyang giingon na contract to sell. But it must be clear in our minds no atong i-correct daan ang inyuhang naa sa inyong utok na basta dili pa gani full payment contract to sell na. Dili siya, okay? Mahimo ra siyang contract to sell kung ang full payment gihimo siya nga kondisyon. Okay? So kailangan magsabot sila na uy kung di pa ka makabayad ha dili sa nako i-transfer ang ownership, mauna siya ang contract to sell. Pero kung nagsabot sila na ibaligya na gyud nako nimo, i-transfer na gyud nako ang ownership nimo, bahalag later pa ka pwede mo bahalag for example after 1 month pa or after 1 year pa ko nimo bayaran, pero i-transfer na nako diretso ang akong ownership, pwede gihapon siya contract of sale. So in other words, dili tanan inutang nga pagpalit contract to sell dayon automatic. Mahimo ra siyang contract to sell if gasabot gyud sila na ang full payment is a condition for the transfer of ownership. Dinhi, okay, atong tanawon himayon nato dinhi ha. Yes, wala pa'y full payment, right? Pero question, pagtanaw nato dinhi manggod. Okay, na I right si vendee to sell. No? Should the vendee prior to the full kung maka-decide kuno si vendee bisan wala pa siya nakabayad tanan nga ibaligya daw niya ang land sa lain, kailangan iya i-inform ang vendor. So meaning to say, allowed na di si vendee mo baligya, right? Bahalag wala pa siya naka full payment. So since allowed naman siya mo baligya, no, atong kuan ba no? You cannot give what you don't have, right? If you are not the owner of the property, then you cannot sell the property. But since the vendee now has a right to sell the property, that means ownership is already transferred to the vendee. Despite wala pa siya naka full payment. So, it's a contract of sale. So again, unsay lesson learned nato dinhi, dili tanan nga nay utang, kung giutang ni vendee ang property, dili always na contract to sell. Mahimo na siyang contract to sell if gihimo siya nga condition sa transfer of ownership na kailangan bayaran ko nimo daan in full before nako ma-transfer ang ownership nimo. But dinhi, it shows us na despite wala pa naka full payment si vendee already has the ownership of the property. Kaya ingon man gani dinhi na pwede daw kuno i-decide ni vendor to repurchase, paliton daw niya balik. So meaning wala na gyud niya ang ownership kay paliton ko niya balik, diba? So there is already a transfer of ownership and that is a contract of sale. Okay? Medyo tricky, no? So at least clear na siya sa atong mind, karon pa lang daan. Clear na siya sa ato ang mind. Okay, let's move on to the next article. Article 1459. The thing must be licit, and the vendor must have a right to transfer the ownership thereof at the time it is delivered. Okay, so it's also a very rich provision. First one, the thing must be licit. Ano siya pasabot sa licit? Legal. Ang object ninyo sa inyong contract of sale must be a legal thing. So for example, naalagi mo yung COC, no, na mo consent, object, consideration. Pero ang inyong ibaliga, shabo. So that one is an illicit object. So even though na may meeting of the minds, no, na may meeting of the minds, unsay paliton, shabo. Na may meeting of the minds as to the price, ang price 1 million. Okay, na ay COC. But dili gihapon valid ang contract of sale because the object sa inyong contract is an illicit object. So it's a requirement that the thing must be licit. Licit pasabot legal, okay? And the vendor must have a right to transfer ownership thereof at the time it is delivered. Okay, take note ha, ang ownership requirement sa vendor, diha ra siya at the time it is delivered. Meaning to say, if at the time nga nag-enter mo into a contract, dili required nga si vendor na ownership over the property nga iyang gibaligya. Gets? Okay, kung magtanaw og timeline, no, ang timeline is like straight horizontal line. That first point in time is when the contract of sale was perfected. Kung kano saan nag-meeting of the minds. At that point in time, dili required nga na ownership sa vendor. So, pwede tayo kung makabaligya o isa kabutang nga, dili pa ako Okay, at the time of the perfection of the contract, wala may requirement nga owner si vendor. Ang ownership requirement is at the time it is delivered. So, pwede ka magbaligya o isa kabutang at that, for example, karong adlaw, magbaligya kag isa kabutang nga specific and licit, pero dili pa ikaw ang owner. Basta make sure lang na at the time of the delivery, ikaw na ang owner, anak. Okay? So, ang ownership, again, ang ownership requirement is not at the time you entered into a contract of sale, but at the time of delivery. Okay? Gets ha, gets. So, important ka ini siya. Kay pwede, di man pwede na mo reklamo si buyer na, oy, ipa-rescind na lang din ako ang sale. Kay at the time when we entered into a contract of sale, dili hindi ikaw ang owner ani. But if ikaw na ang owner at the time, when you delivered that certain thing to the buyer, then okay na tanan. Okay? So, bahalag dili ikaw ang owner at the time nga nagsabot mo as long as ikaw na ang owner at the time nga imo ang gi-deliver ang property ngadto ang buyer. At the time it is delivered. So, mo na itong tawag, di ba? Nemo dat quod non habet. So, pasabot, ana, you cannot give what you don't have. So, you cannot give at the time of the delivery if you don't have it, if you don't own it. So, you cannot give what you don't have. Okay? So, mo na, love yourself, no? Kay you cannot give love if you don't have it. Bitaw. So, yeah, you cannot give what you don't have. Okay. So, let's zoom in on the licit requirement. So, it must be licit. So, ang opposite sa licit kay illicit or illegal. So, kinds of illicit things, a thing could be illicit per se, meaning as based on its nature alone, bisan wala pay law or anyone nga mag-ingon nimo nga, oy, bawal na siya, on its own lang yun, baka ingon jud ka na, dili man ni siya legal, di man ni siya licit nga objects. So, illicit per se. But there's also a thing that is illicit per accidents, meaning to say it's just illicit because of some provisions of law declaring it illegal. All right. Clear naman sa ato na ang per se and per accidents. Okay. So let's check. Is this illicit per se or illicit per accidents? If mamaligya kag inani. Is this illicit? Is this thing illicit per se or illicit per accidents? So you can just type your answers here. Di lang ko manawag kay sayon raman. Okay, na ni-answer there is si Harvin, illicit per se. Bermelin also illicit per se. Okay, okay. So, obvious man no, na if mamaligya ka og bulok nga pan, bisan pag-uy mo ingon nimo na dili na pwede on its own, obvious na jud kaayo nga dili ni siya pwede ibaligya, right? So, if ang object of a contract of sale, if ang imong i-deliver is bulok nga pan, or rotten food, it's the buyer can refuse that because it is not in a deliverable state, right? So, dili siya. Per se siya, okay? How about this one? Lottery na dili sanctioned by PCSO. Lottery tickets. Not sanctioned by our PCSO. Is it illicit per se or illicit per accidents? Margrong spelling din akong accidents din no. Ano na siya? Wala na siguro na siya D. Sorry guys. But ang answer ani is it is illicit per accidents. Okay. Tanaw na nimo siya kung per se man gud meaning sa daggoy pa lang daniya ba? Illicit na siya. No? So kung tanaw nimo ang lottery tickets on its own, papel ra man siya, 'di ba? Papel ra siya. Dili siya something nga makadaot and all. So, dili siya illicit per se, but because expressly prohibited jud siya nga magbaligya ka og lottery tickets without the permit from the PCSO, then that becomes illicit per accidents. Okay. How about this one? Sale of land to a foreigner. Sale of land or a house. House and lot na lang. House and lot to a foreigner. Here in the Philippines. Is it illicit per se or illicit per accidents? Okay. Well, the correct answer is illicit per accidents because it is specifically prohibited by law. Again, ang ato ang naon is if imo siyang tan-aon on its own, nabi something wrong with it. Like for example, na maligya ra kag house and lot sa mga foreigners. Work on its own, wala ra may no harm, no? Maligya ra kag house and lot, but it's just that it's it is prohibited by our law. So it becomes an illicit per accidents. Okay. Next one, Article 1460. A thing is determinate when it is particularly designated or physically segregated from all others of the same class. So a thing is determinate. So that's another term for specific, right? So kung sa oblicon, i-relate na to sa oblicon, determinate meaning specific. It is particularly designated or physically segregated from all others of the same class. Nga makaingon jud ka ba nga maunis siya, maka-pinpoint jud ka nga maunis siya ang gibaligya. Dili ka tong uban kani gyud siya. Okay? Mao na ang determinate. The requisite that a thing be determinate is satisfied if at the time the contract is entered into, the thing is capable of being made determinate without the necessity of a new or further agreement between the parties. So, muna akong giingon ganina na an object could be determinate, but if it's not yet determinate, at least it is capable of being made determinate. Okay? Like for example, mayon kag one of my cars. I will sell to you one of my cars. So, lima man kabuk akong car for example, which one man? So at least dili pa siya determinate kay one of my cars man, one of my cars dili pa siya determinate but capable of being made determinate kay moingon ka nga kani siya na car nako out of the 5 kani siya. Okay, without the necessity of a new or further agreement between the parties. Okay, so let's check when this if this particular thing is determinate or not. My car. Determinate or not determinate? Okay, determinate. No. Okay, determinate. This one is determinate my car. Kay klaro man gid kay nga kani ako ang car. Ako ang car, ako ang ibaligya. How about the watch that I am wearing? Determinate or not? Kani kuno nga watch nga ako ang gisulob. Determinate or not? Answer is determinate. No, klaro man kung unsa akong gisulob mo na. Okay? How about the house in Talisay? Okay. Okay. So, not determinate. Kay kadaghan house sa Talisay asa man ato, no? How about my house in Talisay? So even a slight change in one word, no, will change the characteristic of a thing from being not determinate, no, to a determinate one. Okay, my house in Talisay, that is already determinate. 2 kilos of white sugar. Hmm? This would 2 kilos of white sugar. Okay, this one is naglibog na mo kay lahi-lahi inyong answers. 2 kilos of white sugar. Okay, this one is not determinate. Okay. So, for a thing to be determinate, kailangan maka-imagine na ka kung unsa siya. Kani mag 2 kilos of white sugar, wa mo kinyagi nga. Mahimo siyang determinate, for example, if may 2 kilos of white sugar stored in my warehouse. Kanya, mayon ka na ang brand kay inani. So, imo jud siya specify. For example, may Toyota Vios. Toyota Vios. Dili siya determinate, right? But kung may Toyota Vios with plate number, blah, 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 mahimo na siyang determinate. Okay? So, kailangan ang object sa atong contract of sale is something that is determinate, or if it's not yet determinate, capable of being determined without the need of a further contract. Okay, Article 1461. Things having a potential existence may be the object of the contract of sale. The efficacy of the sale of a mere hope or expectancy is deemed subject to the condition that the thing will come into existence. The sale of a vain hope or expectancy is void. So, ang first na tong tan-aw ani, pwede ko na siya mahimong object of a contract of sale. Things having a potential existence. Kung may potential existence, that means dili pa siya existing, right? Naala siya potential existence, meaning it's a future thing. So if it's a future thing, then it can be daw kuno an object of a contract of sale. So it means that, in other words, an object to become an object of a contract of sale need not be existing at the time you entered into the contracts. Dili siya kinahanglan nga existing na. Pwede di ay gihapon nga naara siya potential existence. It's a future thing. If it's a future good, pwede siya mahimong object of a contract of sale. Another one here. Sale of mere hope or expectancy. Pwede ka magpaasa din, So, pwede ka mamaligya og hope or expectancy. Pero kinahanglan, dili siya vain hope. Dili sad siya vain expectancy. Pasabot, kung mamaligya kuno ka og hope or expectancy, dapat naa-jay chance nga mahitabo siya. Bahalag na ay chance nga di siya mahitabo, pero dapat naa-sad siya chance nga mahitabo siya. Okay? Kaya kung in the first place, wala jud siya chance at all nga mahitabo, that is a sale of vain hope. So that is vain hope or expectancy. In that case, your sale is void. So for a mere hope, for a hope or expectancy to become an object of sale, kailangan capable siya to come into existence. Naa siya chance nga mahitabo. Naa siya chance nga mahitabo. Bahalag naa siya chance nga di siya mahitabo, as long as naa siya chance nga mahitabo siya. Okay? Okay. Example of a future thing could be an object of a contract of sale. A vine is expected to produce. So a vine is expected to produce. Ang wine kuno nga ma-produce is a vine. The grain, a field may grow in a given time. So the grain is a future thing, right? Wala pa naman na-harvest, pero na ang field. The milk, a cow, may yield during the coming years. So sa sunod pa daw nga tuig, ang milk daw kuno na makuha na to ana nga cow. That is a future thing. The wool that shall thereafter grow upon a sheep. Or what may be taken at the next cast of a fisherman's nets. That is a future thing. But take note, unsa man ang imong makit-an diri na common denominator sa tanan natong gi-example sa future thing. Although the object of the sale, so ang common denominator nila is that although the contract of sale is a kaning future thing, wala pa siya na-exist, no? Siya na-exist karon. Pero ang basis sa kanang future thing dapat ni-exist na karon. Okay, for example, the wine a vine is expected to produce. If you are selling the wine that a vine is expected to produce, kailangan existing na karon ang imuhang vine. Okay? Nagets ninyo? So, kailangan existing na karon ang imuhang vine. Pero ang imuhang lang gibaligya is ang wine in the future. Pero kailangan ang vine, imuha na, naa na karon. Nagets ninyo? So, kailangan ang basis sa future thing ni-exist na karon. Bahalag ang katong future thing, obviously, future thing pagod siya, wala pa siya ni-exist. Pwede nimo siya ibaligya. Bahalag wa pa siya ni-exist. As long as ang basis sa kanang future thing ni-exist na karon. Okay, so ang kaning wine kuno nga imong nga imuhang ibaligya, it is yet to be produced pa man. As long as the vine is already here and existing and it's yours. Okay? Another one, the grain a field may grow in a given time. So kailangan na ang field karon. Na ang field exist na ang field karon. Pero ang imuha lang ibaligya dili ang field imong ibaligya, but ang grain nga mo grow dinha nga field. Okay, the milk a cow may yield. So bahalag wala pa ang milk as long as naa na ang cow. Nagets ninyo guys? So dili pwede na ang kaning duha wala. For example, nag-expect ra ko nga mopalit ko cow unya ang milk sa kanang nga cow pohon akong ibaligya nimo. Dili pwede. Dapat naa na ang cow karon. Dapat ang basis of the future thing is already existing at this point in time. A wool that shall thereafter grow upon a sheep. So, kailangan na naa na ang sheep karon. Maghuwat na lang ta sa iyahang wool pohon. Okay? Then kani, but maybe taken at the next cast of a fisherman's net. So, kailangan naa na ni karon. Kaya para igo ra i-cast dito, kung asa man fish pan ba or sa dagat, at least kung unsay makuha, ito ang imong ibaligya. Okay? Clear? Is it clear sa atong minds? Okay. Those are examples of future things. Sale of mere hope or expectancy. Example, S binds himself to sell for a specified price to B a parcel of land if he wins a case for the recovery of said land pending in the Supreme Courts. So, ingon daw si S kang B. Hoy B, ako ning ibaligya ni mo nga kong yuta at a specified price, let's say 1 million. B, ako ning ibaligya ni mo akong yuta. Ang kaning nga yuta no for 1 million. If makadaog na ko makabawi ni nako nga yuta, kay ang kaning kong yuta gikaso pa ni siya niya. Ang kaso pending pa siya sa Supreme Courts. So that one is an example of a sale of hope or expectancy. And is the hope or expectancy in vain? Dili man, di ba? Because there is a chance nga ma-recover niya, although there's also a chance nga dili niya ma-recover. Pero ang importante, na a chance nga ma-recover niya. Okay? So here, the obligation of S to sell that specific parcel of land will arise if the expected thing, which is the land, will come into existence. That is, if he wins the case. So before a decision is rendered, there is only the mere hope or expectancy that the thing will come into existence. So in this case, what was sold by B, okay, is the hope, not the land. Gets? So ang hope pa, ang iyahang kumbaga, ang object of the sale is a mere hope or expectancy. Okay. Another example. B buys a sweepstakes ticket in the hope of winning a prize. So, in this case, what was sold to B, what was bought by B, is actually not the physical ticket. So, ang object of sale day aning sweepstakes ticket is not the physical ticket, but ang gibaligya is the hope behind that ticket. Okay. So, ang object of the sale here is not the piece of paper itself. Okay, obviously, dili man ka mo palit sa sweepstakes ticket para lang naa kay ticket. Ang imong gipalit is ang hope ana na ticket. Okay. The sale is valid even if B does not win a prize because it is not subject to the condition that the hope will be fulfilled. Right? As long as there is a chance na makadaog siya. Although very, 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 very slim, as long as na ay gihapoy chance. Okay. So void na siya. Valid siya. So what makes this what's an example of a vain hope? Sale of a vain hope. For example, na maligya ka og sweepstakes ticket pero kanila siya nga ticket already drawn na siya yesterday pero karon nimo siya gibaligya. Vain hope na sige kag-atang manadi ay gahapon. Okay? So that one is a sale of vain hope. So it is a void sale. Kay in that case, wala naman yung chance nga makadaog ka. Kay nahuman naman siya gahapon. Okay. So it's clear na sa atong minds. Okay, a few more minutes na lang di ay before 7:30. Okay. Article 1462. The goods which form the subject of a contract of sale may be either existing goods owned or possessed by the seller, or goods to be manufactured, raised, or acquired by the seller after the perfection of the contract of sale in this title called future goods. There may be a contract of sale of goods whose acquisition by the seller depends upon a contingency which may or may not happen. So it's more of like continuation lang sa ato ang dimension ganina no nga future things o kato mga hope or contingencies. So again, pwede siya ang imuhang ipaligya is an existing good. Pwede sa in the future pa to be manufactured ba siya, to be raised, or to be acquired pa siya after the perfection of the contract of sale. So, clear naman siya na to kanina, di ba? So, pwede siya existing, pwede siya future. Kaning contingency, katong hope, di ba? It's like a contingency which may or may not happen. Basta ang importante is kailangan na agad siya chance nga mahitabo. Bahalag very slim chance as long as there is a chance nga mahitabo siya. Article 1463. The sole owner of the thing may sell an undivided interest therein. So, undivided interest, ay pasabot na undivided interest. Kung gi-divide daw ko nimo isa ka property, pero wala nimo gi-specify asa. For example, no. For example, na ako din client ni ani siya. Na ako no siya nadawat nga inheritance gikan sa iyahang mama. Sa kayuta, no. Let's just say 500 square meters. Pero iya ko no ning i-divide into 5. So tag 100 100 100 nya iyang ibaligya daw ko no sa lain-lain nga mga buyers. Pero wala pa na ready ang iyahang katong wala pa siya ingon nga formally na survey o formally nga nabuak. So pag baligya niya niingon na siya sa buyer nga 1/5 of this property or a portion of this property. Ingon siya 1/5. So that pag ingon niya 1/5 masaputan na undivided interest kay ano wala pa man jud physically na segregate and na divide ang iyahang thing nga siya ang sole owner. So in that case, if what is being sold by the sole owner, meaning usa ra ka buok ang owner has a thing, it's just that nagbaligya siya og undivided interest over that thing. So what happens now? The buyer will become a co-owner in the thing sold. Okay, for example, sa kato akong kliyente, na siya 500 square meter lot, iyang gibaligya ang 1/5, pero wala pa niya giingon ha kung asa nga part nga 1/5. Nisulti ra siya na 1/5 do kuno ang ibaligya sa katong buyer. So, si buyer o si seller will become a co-owner. So, katong si buyer will own 1/5 of the property and the original seller will now own 4/5 of the property. So, co-owner sila. Okay? But once nga mabuak na gyud ang property and then maisyuhan ng separate titles for each of the 5 lots nga i-subdivide man siya into 5. So the co-ownership will cease. No? Because that buyer, if ma-determine na gyud kung asa iya nga 1/5 portion of the exact property, then ang iya ownership dito na gyud sa specific nga lugar nga kato nga buak ka. No? Kato nga 1/5 mo na kito iya. Pero kung undivided pa siya nga interest, they will still be treated as co-owners of the seller. Okay? Okay, clear na ta ato. Article 1464. In the case of fungible goods, there may be a sale of an undivided share of a specific mass, though the seller purports to sell and the buyer to buy a definite number, weight, or measure of the goods in the mass, and though the number, weight, or measure of the goods in the mass is undetermined. By such a sale, the buyer becomes owner in common of such a share of the mass as the number, weight, or measure bought bears to the number, weight, or measure of the mass. If the mass contains less than the number, weight, or measure bought, the buyer becomes the owner of the whole mass, and the seller is bound to make good the deficiency from goods of the same kind and quality unless a contrary intent appears. Okay, kung pag-college na ako, pag-study na ko, ani kay naman sa me law on sales, pag-college na ako sa accountancy. Nabuang ko aning fungible goods kay di ko kasabot sa 1464 balik-balik na ko basa di ko kasabot. Pero simple ra jud di ay pasabot aning fungible goods. Okay. So if ang object daw of a contract of sale is a fungible good, ang pasabot sa fungible good is something nga interchangeable siya sa uban. So for example, if magpagasolina kas gasoline station, di ba daghan gyud na sila stock ng gasolina. So bisag asa pa panagikan nga portion sa gasolina sa isa ka tangke, you won't care, di ba? Kung gikan ba siya sa kinaunhan sa tangke, sa tunga-tunga sa tangke, or sa pinakalas sa tangke, you won't care because interchangeable raman sila. Or for example, if mopalit ka og bugas, ato kas merkado, di ba? Isud man nilag sako, ano? So nilag sako ang bugas. Palit kag usa ka kilo. Kung kuhaon siya kinaibabuan sa sako, or kung kuhaon siya tunga-tunga sa sako, or kinalubutan sa sako, mo care ba ka or dili? Dili, di ba? Because they are all interchangeable. So those are called fungible goods. Okay, fungible goods. Something nga easily interchangeable lang. So if kana daw ang imong subject of a contract of sale, okay, bahala ko no, for example, if magtanaw kag isa ka sakong bugas, may pila man nakakilo ang isa ka sako? 50, di ba? 50. But ang imuhang paliton is 5 kilos ra. So, kung wala pa daw na kilo, ang imuhang 5 ka kilo, 5 ka kilo aning usa ka sako ako Kung wala pa na kilo ang imong 5 ka kilo, you become a co-owner in that mass. Meaning the whole sako, co-owner ka sa with respect to the number or weight nga imong gipalit. So 5 kilos out of the 50 kilos. So 5 divided by 50. Mao na imuhang co-ownership interest samtang wala pa siya na kilo. Ang katong 5 ka kilo nimo. Okay? So may himo ka nga co-owner sa seller. But what if pag-abli din nimo sa sako, hala gamay di kay so dili inday 50 ka kilo. Ang kilo dito na 2 kilos ra, nya 5 ka kilo ba imong gipalit. So if the mass contains less than the number nga imuhang gipalit, dili na co-ownership ang mahitabo, but you will become the owner of the whole. Okay, in fact, kulang man gani, di ba? If 5 kilos gud imong gipalit, unya 2 kilos ra ang sulod sa sako. So you become the owner of the whole mass. And at the same time kay kuwang lagi siya because it's less the mass contains less than the once you bought, the seller is bound to make good the deficiency. So kailangan punan pa ka ni seller sa kuwang. Pilay kuwang niya nimo? 3 ka kilo, no? 3 ka kilo yang kulang. Unya kana nga kiluhang 3 dapat of the same kind and quality sa bugas nga imong gipalit. Nakatong 2 kilos. Okay? Nag-gets na to? So again, fungible goods are goods of which any unit is, from its nature or by mercantile usage, treated as the equivalent of any other unit, such as grain, oil, wine, gasoline, etc. It means that dili ka mo care if ma-interchange sila. So if magkuha kag usa ka grain, magkumot ka og bugas, dili ka mo care kung asa na siya gikan sa sako, di ba? Because those are all interchangeable. Kung oil, mapalit kag usa ka kilo nga oil. Kung gikan siya ato nga botelya, gikan siya lain nga botelya, basta pareha siya brand, wa kay pake, di ba? Wine, gasoline, ana siya. Okay. So ako sa ni siya skip ha because 5 minutes naman, pero kanilang ako i-focus. For example, so we have here a gasoline tank, no? So the expected number of liters here is 10,000. Atong gi-expect sold niya 10,000 liters. So Mr. X now buys 3,000 liters daw. So palit kog 3,000 liters gikan ani. So unsay effects? based sa atong gihisgutan ng article. So effects, Mr. X and the seller becomes a co-owner of the whole gas nga naa sa Sodinhe, right? Okay, wala pa man gidetermine asa ang 3,000. So basta Sodinhe ang 3,000 paliton ni Mr. X. So si Mr. X and the seller becomes a co-owner of everything that is inside this tank. Mr. X's share is equivalent to 30% and the seller's share is 70%. Correct? That's a co-ownership. Now, what if, pag-abli na to, dili di 10,000 ang sulod, but only 2,000 liters. The actual number of liters is 2,000. So what's the effect now? There will be no more co-ownership, right? Unsa man ang effects? Mr. X becomes the owner of the whole. No more co-ownership. In fact, kuwang gani. And then the seller should deliver an additional 1,000 liters of the same kind and quality. Dili pwede lahi nga oil o nga gas. Dapat same yun nga quality. Sa sud nga 2,000 ani nga gasoline tank. Nagets na to ang concept of fungible goods. Okay, so 7:30 naman. Okay, 7:30 naman. So let's end there. Do you have any questions or are you okay with this kind of an approach sa atong klase? Masabtan ra?
Yes, attorney.
Okay.
Yes, attorney.
So okay raman ani or
Yes,
maganahan mo
attorney.
katong
Yes, attorney.
pinasocratic.
Ayan ang Socratic, attorney.
Okay, so ano lang ha, so mo na ganahan ko inani lang sa medyo chill lang gamay ba kay para dili mo ma-wow na iftawgon mo no kurog mo nga masayop. So at least ma-share jud ninyo kung unsa ang naa sa inyong mind and at least if sayop man gani na ang naa sa inyong matubag at least ma-correct na tayo natong diha dayon, di ba? Yeah, what if di mao sa dayon na hunna sa inyong classmate nga inani niya sayop. So at least daghan makahibaw na ma-correct nila daan ani pa lang daan pagklase ma-correct na kung unsay naa sa atong mind, no? So ato ang motto is it must be clear in our minds before ta mahuman, okay? Sige, so next week I'm not sure yet if pwede na ta mo adto gyud sa new building kaya I think naa sila issues sa bagong building. So what lang ta directive from the School of Law. If wala pa okay gyapon online but we will use the same link. Katong unsa akong gisan adto gyapon ta mo join, okay? Sige, thank you so much. And apoy in class.
Attorney, sorry, may I
Yes.
ask?
Yes, sir.
I would just like to ask any